Hey, so in this video I'm going to share my top 3 tips for breaking free from freeze mode. And these are the same tips that help me manifest extraordinary things in life, like traveling the world, moving to Mykonos, building a heart-centered business, and also sharing my life with this world. So I want the same for you, and spoiler alert, this is not just another manifestation guide. You won't unlock your dream life by simply wishing for it, but by truly understanding your nervous system, which is the bridge between your mind and your body. So welcome to this channel. My name is Jenny. I'm a trauma-informed yoga teacher with a background in psychology and neuroscience. And years ago, I felt completely overwhelmed, powerless, and just stuck in life. And I never really shared this with anyone, but there were nights where I didn't really care if I woke up the next morning. And fast forward today, I feel empowered, confident, and fully myself. Even if I'm walking through a street here in Mykonos that looks like Fashion Week, and I'm wearing my sweaty workout clothes, I know it's safe to be myself, and I know and trust that I can handle whatever challenge comes along my way. So some people called me crazy when I invested 5 figures into my personal healing journey, but honestly, it made me who I am right now. And in this video, I would like to share with you the golden nuggets of what I've learned during my studies, as well as from my mentors and teachers. So I'll share the exact tools that help me to take my power back and create a life that's lived with a purpose and meaning and joy. And if you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed, you will benefit from these strategies too. And make sure to stick around until the end, where I will share some crucial tips on what triggers to avoid when you're in freeze. So first of all, you might be wondering, but what exactly is freeze? So this used to be my biggest obstacle in life until I really understood the purpose of this response. So freeze, it's a trauma response that occurs when your nervous system is overwhelmed, and it's essentially your body's survival mechanism. It's your body trying to protect you when fight or flight, like defending yourself or running, are not an option. Freeze response, it's involuntary. That means it's automatic and not under your conscious control. It's not like you decide, oh, let's freeze now. It just happens like this, boom, like someone pulls the switch. And something that might be good to know for you is that your prefrontal cortex, it's the part of your brain that's responsible for logic and decision making. It tends to be less activated, or some people even say that it goes offline when you're in survival mode, like freeze. And this makes it harder to process thoughts, but also to integrate verbal information or to access language. And it can also make it more difficult to make mindful decisions. So how do you know that you are in freeze mode? So emotions that are associated with this state include feeling stuck, helpless, powerless, numb, or also disconnected or even dissociated. And other signs that I used to be very familiar with, you may be as well, it's tension in your body that kind of feels trapped, unable to release. Maybe when you're clenching your jaw or your neck hurts or you're making fists. This could be examples. And also shallow way of breathing can contribute to this feeling of being frozen. And also when you're in this state, it can feel very difficult to communicate and to express your needs and feelings properly or set healthy boundaries. So if you struggle with this, then now as you learn more about it, you'll find yourself having more understanding and compassion for why you are the way you are, why you react like this. You will realize that it actually makes sense. But this is not enough for change and healing, of course. It's also important to learn how to get yourself out of freeze again. So I will give you 3 strategies which you can use. I suggest starting with one, not everything at once. You'll understand later why. And the first one is coregulation. So how can you benefit from coregulation? First, you have to understand this. When someone has a regulated nervous system, then he or she can help another person to regulate his or her nervous system. But it doesn't have to be with another human, animals, or nature. can also help with that and thus be powerful co-regulators, so to speak. And when your nervous system is regulated, you feel calm and safe, are present and grounded, and have a sense of control. And examples of co-regulators are being in nature. For example, if you're walking in the forest or even hugging a tree, can help to feel more grounded or give your nervous system the sense of peace. And another way, it's physical touch. For example, if you give someone a hug, hold hands, or cuddle another human or animal, can also make you feel more relaxed and safe. But yeah, if you're in freeze, maybe as a side note, sometimes you might not feel like touch is the best way for you, and then also just honor your nervous system's needs. Suggestions or ideas that I give you, but you have to decide for yourself what you truly need and what benefits you maybe more or less. Okay? Cool. So, and another way to help us regulate is with the help of several cues. So, even without touch, a calm person can regulate another through body language or facial expressions, and also through the tone of voice. So if someone around you is calm, then your nervous system might subconsciously match the state without needing to touch, for example. And mirror neurons, they have also been linked to that. There's more research done right now, but it seems as they help us to tune into the emotional and also physical states of others. And this could explain why we feel calmer in the presence of someone else who is calm. And please know that if you're feeling overwhelmed and struggle with self-regulation, then please reach out for support. I mean, this can be a loved one, coach, psychologist. Really, you don't have to do it all alone. We're like social creatures, and I believe that we're meant to connect and to lift each other up. And as a note on choosing who to co-regulate with, be mindful of whom you seek co-regulation, because this person should not make you feel worse or cause further dysregulation. And if you're unsure, then you can simply ask the other person. Let's say, hey, what state are you in right now? I'm not really feeling well and I would like to share some things with you. Are you okay with that? And then the other person can let you know and decide. Communication is key. I know it's not easy in freeze mode, but yeah, maybe something you can learn over time. You don't have to nail everything now from one day to the next. And the second tool to unfreeze your nervous system, it's gentle breathwork. And what's really powerful is to lengthen your exhalation, because this helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is also responsible for rest and digest, and helps you to relax and heal and integrate. What you can do, for example, is if you usually inhale for 4 seconds, then just try to exhale, for example, for 5 or 6 seconds, and do this a couple of times. Or another helpful tool is the physiological sigh that I explained in another video that I will just link you here, and you can give it a try if you want. Andre Tuberman, he also speaks about it a lot. And the third strategy to unfreeze your nervous system, it's called Orienting, and it means that you just consciously direct your attention to your surroundings and maybe also to the sensations in your body. But you do this in a very mindful and slow way to re-establish the connection to this present moment that we tend to have lost when we're in freeze mode, disconnected or dissociated. It can start very simple, that you just take a moment to notice where you are. You can look around and use all your senses, like your sight, to notice the colors, the shapes, the movements around you. Just focus on one object and observe it more closely. You can also involve the sound, for example, and listen to different kinds of sounds that are more close or more far away. And if there's something that makes you feel safe, you can just linger on this a little longer. As well as with a touch. There's something that gives you the sense of safety or reconnection to the present moment. You could also use that. Just experiment with it very gently Okay, if you want to have more guidance, let me know. I can also make a video on that. And as an important side note, okay, you can combine some of these practices like breathing, orienting, and coregulation, and sometimes we do it intuitively. But please keep in mind that when your nervous system is in survival mode, like in freeze, then simplicity is truly the key. Remember, there's a lot of potency and simplicity. That's always my mantra. And since your nervous system is already really stressed and pressured and overwhelmed during freeze, it's important not to add more of this. So what we don't want to do or avoid when we're dysregulated, when we're in freeze, is to force the release of big emotions. You might not have the capacity to hold it in this moment. And we also don't want to get lost in over-analyzing or overthinking or force ourselves into immediate action. Because when you're in freeze, like immobilized, and here you need to be to take action. It's quite a process to go from here to here. So it's important to give yourself some time and space and don't pressure yourself to jump there immediately. And also it can be helpful to avoid high stimulation environments, also to further help your nervous system relax and feel safe again. And a few other things to avoid in this state are negative self-talk, like judgment and criticism. Can also add more overwhelm, as well as isolation. It's important, of course, to have healthy boundaries, but if you notice yourself isolating, you might consider trying some co-regulation, for example, as you just learned. And bonus, it's also maybe not the best idea to make major decisions when you're in freeze mode, because as you just learned, your logical part of your brain, it's also important for planning and all that stuff, might have less activity. So yeah, give yourself some time and space to come back to regulation, because otherwise, if you're very much driven by emotions and impulses, you might make decisions in that state that you could regret later. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you're likely someone who would gain immense value from our online course, Inner Home Renovation. And I created this 16-week online program. Over the past 2 years, I really put all of my heart into that to help women transform from overwhelm to peace without relying on food anymore. So maybe you can imagine for a moment waking up each day feeling calm, centered, and in control, rather than constantly overwhelmed by life's demands. So our course teaches you simple yet powerful strategies for regulating your nervous system and becoming a co-regulator for your clients, your students, and also loved ones. So what you will receive is ongoing one-on-one support from me, as well as a personalized toolbox that empowers you to return home to yourself during challenging times. And we also have some guest experts like a holistic nutritionist and yeah, so much more. So I believe that each of us deserves a happy, healthy, and peaceful life. And trauma-informed nervous system work, it's really the key to breaking free from bad habits and embracing your true self. So the first 3 women who will enroll, they will receive a 25% discount. And if this resonates with you, just click the link in the description below or just contact me directly. And yeah, I would say, let's start this journey towards a more empowered you today. Are you in? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video and that I will see you in the next one.